Good morning, everyone. It is Friday.
And here, good day to you. Good day to you. Thank you, wife Serena, for those introductions every day. I feel like I should come out in monster truck or something, you know, this Sunday. Yeah, what we have with is
Already acting up. Everything is acting up. So what we're gonna do is do Plan
hang
B,
on.
which is changing to this camera.
Okay.
And we're gonna make it so that you guys are just right there.
We'll spin it till you get.
Yeah, sorry about that. Wow, it's really.
Sorry about this, folks.
Yeah, we'll give it time.
There we go.
Not
How's
that.
that?
And if things settle down, we'll do everything in our power to make it right again. Okay. I'm gonna go get my phone. What a rough start.
Is it working right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, brother. Sorry, folks. Sound check. You know, as you know, we've been on the road for 2 weeks now, and got to check. I don't want to launch into this and then find out it's all skittery or something.
Double in there.
Yeah,
Ma'am, meanwhile, tell.
Are you there? You're on live?
Yeah. Meanwhile, tell me the story.
Okay.
Once it settles down, I might switch back to the top camera, but go ahead.
Okay. Golly, I don't know how to do this. Is it live or on tape?
It's delayed. It's just delayed, kind of.
Yeah, it is delayed. It's
Okay.
always delayed by about 8
Okay.
seconds. Yeah.
So, well, here we are.
In case I curse.
There's no time to take that out.
8-second delay.
Yeah.
Yes, well, we have Lindsay with us today as a guest, and Lindsay has invited my wife and me to stay at her place this week while we are doing some things. And it looks like Lindsay is going to be working more. Well, my wife's going to be working with Lindsay at her business here in Newport Beach, because my wife is technically able to solve just about anything. I think the space shuttle, the next launch, is going to be one of her assignments too.
Except for clearly
Yes.
a live show on the road. That's my challenge.
Yes, me, I make peanut butter sandwiches and study the Bible. That's what I do. But anyhow, but Lindsay, we met 1982.
Me too.
Yeah, now we both finished high school. Did we finish high school the same year?
Yeah, we did.
1979. So Lindsay's 34, because 1979, that was the year, and you cut 79 in half, and you got 34. So Lindsay's 34, and
that's why he's been my best friend since the day we met, since college.
Yeah, and from 79 to 81, 2 years you were at junior college?
I was. Yep.
Yep, and
due to taking care of family and staying near home base.
Yeah, and family, and you had kind of a painful thing. Your mother, what?
Best friend died in 6 months while in my junior and senior year of high school. Yep.
Your mother departed when you were in high school.
I was 17, just
Oh,
after
Lord.
my 17th.
That's I'd always known that because you told me, and I know it, but I don't know. I felt it, I know it, I understood it, but it didn't hit me with all the impetus like it hits me now. Now that we have children of our own, and my children are 30 to 20, and yours are
23 to 28.
23 and 28, 2 kids. And your boy is how tall?
He stopped telling me at 6'6", so he's somewhere between 6'6" and 6'7".
Yeah, her son is quite the.
And his heart is bigger than his height. He's a wonderful.
Yeah,
man.
he's a good kid. So they say tall drink of water. When you guys have dinner, do you use tall glasses to match the tall drink?
We use tall everything. Every chair, table, everything's tall in our house.
Yeah, and your daughter is about to become well. She's a newscaster, and she's
a news anchor and reporter in Colorado.
Yeah,
yep.
And she's looking to get linked up in Los Angeles.
She's open. She's LA, Las Vegas. She's just open to go anywhere.
Yeah, she's a news anchor, and she looks as good as any news anchor in the world. If you ever see her,
Thank you, Shelby on the mic. Shelby Bracho.
Shelby. Shelby Bracho is her name. So
smart, beautiful, and on the job, man. She does a great job.
She's
So-
smart, that's for sure.
So, but when you were, your maiden name was Lindsay O'Brien, so people from Simpson watching this would remember you as that. So, well, hello, Elisa is here. Jim Hendricks is here. Yay, good to see you folks. The Hendricks have joined us. So, anyhow, but we met in college, and you started at Simpson. It was in San Francisco. The 49ers were in their initial heyday back then. My first weekend in San Francisco was the weekend of the fingertip catch, the Dwight Clark, Montana. And I grew up a Raider fan, you know, because I was a true believer. I wasn't gonna stray.
We'll forgive you.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts. So, but I grew up a Raider fan just because my grandfather was in Oakland from, oh my goodness, I had other family in Oakland since the 1800s. So it really was, you just, it wasn't even a discussion. You were an Oakland fan at our house. And the 49ers they always seemed like the weirdos across the street to me, across the bay.
That is so not nice.
I call them the 40 nincompoops. Isn't that awful?
Oh, that is.
But here I am in San Francisco.
And you have been redeemed, apparently.
Oh, ouch. But
Crazy.
you came to
I'm just becoming the hovering camera person. I'm just
wife is
propping this up.
adjusting here.
So go ahead, keep talking.
The sound check rehearsal. This we're going to get to the end of it though.
I just want to bring it up a little taller here.
Yay!
Because you guys are up there, and I don't want to.
No, actually, there was an earthquake. That was.
Yeah.
that was
Boy, how do you feel? Is that better? Okay.
There, that's good.
Okay, that's much better.
So, and then here I am in San Francisco, and I never even watched a 49er game. I couldn't tell anybody on the team, and that first month they win everything, go to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl, and I go to the parade downtown, and I'm from a town of 700 people. I mean, you had to drive over a half hour to a stoplight. I think there were 5 stoplights in my county when I was a kid. 5.
Right.
And, you know, little town. And then here I am at the 49er parade downtown San Francisco, and 500,000 people were jammed into the great big civic center. The team pulls up, and they step off the cable car. Joe Montana, Dwight Clark, Hacksaw Reynolds, Roger Craig, Bubba Paris, Jerry Rice, and the screaming. 500,000. There were 40,000 in my county, and here was 12, 13 times that many people in one courtyard. And I felt
lost?
I felt like Jesus had just showed up or something.
Oh,
it was
okay.
Palm Sunday.
It was
I
more
started
exciting.
crying. I thought, this is wild. I'd never known anything like that before. But and you were raised north of the your town.
50 miles north in Sebastopol.
Sebastopol. And that means the place of the Savior, by the way.
Yeah.
So you were 50 miles north of the Golden Gate Bridge. Did you? What influenced you to go to Simpson? My dad went there, so I just, after I quit bopping around 18, 19, 20, I went to Simpson.
Yeah.
Because my dad went there, my uncles went there. You went because...
It was the closest to my home, and being that my mom had just passed away and I had a family, I was still teaching Sunday school at my church.
Oh.
But I was born and raised at Hessel Church, which is just the foundation of my faith. I mean, that was family. It was the church, to me, I describe it as the church of love. Love just prevailed, and it still does to this day. It's just a strong, thriving church. Yep.
And so pastoring back then was
Ron Kundle, and his son Rich Kundle, who many people know, is the pastor now.
Oh,
yeah, he was out of Biola. He was a infamous basketball player with the winning team. I think it was 81. Sorry, Rich, but they were like Sports Illustrated. They were the most. I think it was Division III, the #1 team that won. Yeah. So I don't know the league, but yeah.
In case you don't Biola, you think what in the world? It sounds like olive oil with a combination of whatever. Biola is BIOLA, Bible Institute of Los Angeles. Was that started in 1906, Azusa Street time, or?
Good question. I don't know.
So her pastor is.
Do you want me to look that up?
is
Yeah.
from there. But there were some people that transferred from Biola to Simpson, and there's people that transferred from Simpson
To Biola.
and went to Biola. So you got a real good education. We had students at Simpson when we were in San Francisco that transferred to Stanford after their first couple of years. And they said they went to Stanford and they would come back and visit. This really intrigued me because Stanford is one of the most top 10 prominent universities in the world. And they went to Stanford and they would come back and visit. I said, hey, wow, you're at Stanford. And they were like, yeah, whatever. You're not impressed? What do you mean? They said, well, you're there, but nobody cares about you. Yeah, you got this billion-dollar facility at Stanford, but there's way more love here than there. I feel like I was really learning and growing, and I'm getting this education that's going to make all my resume look like, oh my, you're at Stanford. But I should have stayed at Simpson. So, anyhow, really good.
And that was due to professors like Dr. Schaefer, who we're still friends with. There were so many.
Walmart, Collard.
Walmart was in my neighboring town,
Yeah, Petaluma area. But anyhow, so I was a Bible major, as you might surmise, and Lindsay, you were a
vocal performance major.
now you put out an album.
I did.
I think you're young. How do you put out an album at this age?
What's the first time you heard Lindsay sing?
I heard her sing 1982. She's 34. I heard her sing 1982, and it was in chapel or something.
I was kicked out of chapel for that's a whole nother story. But anyway, I was practicing. I was probably rehearsing either maybe for my.
Kicked out of chapel is not an accurate sentence.
You're right. I was practicing in chapel, and I was doing a lot of contemporary music, and some of the higher ups asked that I stick to my conservative. I was having to learn arias, for things.
For classical music, right?
For classical music, right.
Sure.
So but I always would break out and do what I loved to do, and that was contemporary Christian. And,
okay. And contemporary Christian in the early 80s was
just
Twyla Paris.
Twyla Paris, Sandy Patty, Amy Grant. Yeah.
Okay, Michelle Pilar.
Oh yeah.
Twyla Paris. Did I already say that?
Twyla Paris. Yeah.
Yeah, you sing that stuff. Oh, I remember. Yes, because we had a conservatory, super classical music band. And you were pretty hip with. You feel like singing a bar for us?
Oh, probably not.
It's so early.
Right? Yeah.
Okay,
yes,
we haven't warmed up and stuff. But anyhow, I remember I took Lindsay I had to take her to SFO because she had to fly to something or somewhere. Or I had just gotten back from something. Because, during college, I was in, 5 countries during college because I would study and work abroad and come back. And so she picked me up at the airport once. And you put on, and you were just singing, and I would go to your concerts. I would help with setup and
you would, yeah,
roadie and hustle up and what.
You ran the sound for me.
Oh, isn't that a scary thing? You give me more than 2 buttons in front of me, like
I think I kept it to 3, and I said, "Don't touch this," but do the 1, 2, 3. Those are the ones you can touch.
When you said, okay, I dealt with the volume or something.
But you did well.
Yeah, gosh, if you keep it simple, I can do it. But you would sing, and I'm thinking, my heavens, you do sound like Sandy Patty. How come we know about everywhere? You could, because she would do these sing-alongs where you put on Sandy Patty and you just sing with her, and you would be kind of sheepish. Lindsay, belt it, let it fly.
Well, I would really belt it when you would sing with me, because he has an innate ability to do harmonies that are amazing.
Oh yeah.
So I could only sing the melody, and so I loved, because my range was quite large.
You had 3 octave.
Yeah, I did. So
3
at the
octave
time,
range. Oh my goodness.
And I loved when you would sing, above me in harmony, and then at the beginning, and then when I would climb the scale, so to speak, you would come in and sing these lush, like rich harmonies, below, and just I felt even more enlightened to give its all. It was my full voice. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
It was fun.
So Lindsay,
I miss those days.
Lindsay really can sing really well, and it is 7 a.m. or something like that. So I don't know if we're going to be able to coax her.
Another time and another place.
Oh, my favorite one with him. Yeah.
Yeah, with Wayne Watson.
Yes, Wayne Watson.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I continued on to Masters, worked at Masters College with John MacArthur, and you came down and
I did visit.
Yeah, you came down and visited. And we did a duet too. I remember there in the gym.
We did.
And I think it was Another Time, Another Place. Actually.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. See, I'm always surprised when I remember more than you because you were just.
Because usually Drake is the memory guy.
He remembers everything.
You know what's amazing is Lindsee is a really good singer, and she's just really good at singing. I have just always sung because at church you just get loud, baby. I looked like a baby bird when I was singing. Baby bird waiting for its mother to feed it. That's how I would sing.
Just fine.
So I was so into it, I didn't realize and then I hear myself on tape. I go, good grief, dude.
Well, yeah, because we've been recording you for the church and
You
stuff.
sound like a little
But then
red
again,
wagon,
it
dude.
feels like a more liturgical setting, so
Yeah.
it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So anyhow, you finished college, finished your performing degree, you put out an album, and then I went to Israel the winter of '85, and you were down in, you graduated
84. Mm-hmm. 84, and I went right to work, as in the fall, at a college, at the Master's College. Well, it was LABC for 1 year, Los Angeles Baptist College, and then John took over presidency and continues to this day. It's Master's University, and he has a seminary.
It's north of Los Angeles.
It's north of Los Angeles in Newhall or Santa Clarita Valley, and I became the assistant dean of women. So,
oh my goodness, that's right.
Loved it. It was a lot of wonderful memories. Just felt very blessed to take on that role at a very, very young age. But it was life-changing. Met a lot of wonderful people.
In your early 20s.
I was.
So that was just like 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you were there at the Master's College how long?
Gosh, I'm trying to think if it was 3 or 4 years, and that was about it.
So you were there throughout more of the 80s, 1980s.
Yeah.
And then when did you move to, you went from...
I got married, I was married in 89, so.
Okay, 89, and you moved to...
I moved
Orange County.
to Orange County soon after that. It was actually 92 moved to Orange County.
Okay.
Yep, 92, with my beautiful daughter,
Yeah, and you had, when did your first child show up?
Yep, 92. That was Shelby.
Oh, 92, okay.
Shelby, Shelby was 92, and she's still the most amazing gift.
Oh, she's an
First
angelic.
gift, yes.
She's an angelic kid. And 92 was when my wife and I met. So your daughter arrived, my wife and I met in 92.
My favorite story in the world.
Yeah, it really is something else. That'll have to be an episode in later in the summer. But so you.
We're not going to share about how you had your honeymoon with me.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I was the I'm sorry. I was the third wheel on their honeymoon. That's how close Drake and I are. There you go. So that everybody thought we were just such good friends. And always hint, and we were die.
You were much more family than.
I was family. I felt like a sister.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my parents really loved it. She felt like another one of the daughters of the family when she'd come by. Because she'd come up and sing at our church.
Yeah, I did. And when I would go off to new jobs or when I had my first job, I literally got care packages from his family.
Yeah.
From his mom and dad.
Welcome you with a little mug, a little bit of cocoa, and a few doodads and a candle.
Yeah. They are family.
That's great. Well, and with a couple of the highlights from Simpson at the school there, I remember I was kind of frustrated with the guys. Get up and start asking girls to the spring banquet. and they couldn't, it's like, guys are really bad at hum-hawing today, but hum-hawing was starting in the 80s. And they're just like, oh, but what if she says no? I'm like, golly, just ask.
You did a great job by leading by example.
Yeah, and I asked Lindsee to the senior banquet during chapel.
Yeah, in the middle of chapel.
I mean, you just don't do this, but I thought, guys, kick it off. So we did that, and then the flood started, and senior banquet was. Oh, and your senior year, it was winter '84. Lindsay was homecoming queen. How do you like that? I mean, you can fathom that, right? She was homecoming queen, and I was the MC, so I announced, and now for the royal court and the entry. Da, 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 da. I should have done it Humperdinck style. My people, now enters Lindsay O'Brien, the homecoming queen of Simpson College, 1984. That was great.
Yeah, it was
and we went to the senior banquet together, and then
we had a lot of crazy fun stuff.
yeah. So she was one semester ahead of me there. So she started fall 81. I started winter 82, and then she graduated spring 84, and I graduated after fall semester 84. And yeah, we just kind of kept in touch all these years. And now my wife's going to be working for Lindsay, doing web stuff. Isn't that right, honey? So you got all oriented yesterday.
It's been a week of orientation,
Yeah.
which is great.
Yeah.
She has a great team of people.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness.
It's really good. So when we
It's
come,
not the second team; it's the first team.
so we come down here.
First team, that's what I work for. That was really good. I am so blessed to have somebody what I love about Serena and I is, I think our strengths are perfectly matched.
Yes.
Yes. Just
Yes.
like our senses of humor are perfectly matched.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how we, we're
Yeah.
like, we kid around and so it's like it's a wonderful, wonderful friendship.
She'll be
Yes.
handling your PR web,
My online presence, yes.
the online presence.
My
Yeah,
persona.
which is, you got to do that in business today, or you don't look right.
Yeah.
So I think it's very intriguing how I saw some warm up for a filming the other day. It was kind of the remake of Lucille Ball or something, and this lady is frantically working on her notes, lines that she's going to be saying, and then 4 makeup people are doing so. You're going to be working on your notes, which is all your contacts, and my wife will make sure you look good online and
I
in
need
the
all
web
the
world.
help I can get.
Yeah,
I need
no,
that,
you
yes.
look great, but
she does it.
yeah,
Yeah,
but people can
she's
get the
good.
wrong impression if your website isn't working right. But anyhow, so well, that's good. So you're in Newport now. You've lived in Newport.
I have since actually I moved to Orange County when Shelby was just a little baby. So it was 92, 93. I moved here, and then
Okay.
I had one bout that I left the state for a brief time. But no, I've been in Orange County basically I think since 93.
And you're a realtor.
Yep, I am. Yep.
Is that the full word for it? I mean, I don't understand
Yeah.
realtor stuff.
I'm a real estate agent.
Real
So
estate
guys,
land.
we're getting a little bit of feedback that people on Facebook can't see it, and the video stopped.
Oh, it says I can see it. It says I can see it on the bottom there.
Oh, show Mary can see it. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
so
okay,
it
good.
froze for a
Okay,
second.
good. Yeah, it must have
Here
frozen
we
for
are.
a second. Sorry,
We're
y'all.
back.
Okay.
So, but your faith plays in. Obviously, you were raised in a church.
Oh, the foundation of who I am. It's taken me through everything. There's
Life turned out to be a little more bumpy than everybody thought it was going to be.
Sure.
But you've
Yeah.
had your speed bumps that you've hit too.
Well, yeah, and beginning with the loss of my mom when I was, when she became ill when I was 16. Actually, became ill at 14. But yeah, it is I'm a rock. Standing on the rock has been my everything. Yeah.
Your home church here in Newport.
Mariners. I attend Mariners Church.
Mariners Church.
Eric Geiger is the now pastor. Kenton B. Shore he's the emeritus now. He's been the pastor, 1970s, 80s. Yeah.
They set up they set up a farmer's market?
They have farmers market in their parking lot.
Yeah.
But it's huge every Saturday. But they have a resource center that right now they've converted the resource center into a full food pantry and feeding thousands upon thousands of people every single day.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Wow.
It's a church of I don't even know how to say, of great giving.
A Mariners Church. And people are very giving. In Newport, Orange County is there's a very high percentage of believers here. People go to church. You get this legend around the country that Southern California is one big pagan pit, but well beyond 10 million people in Southern California go to church, and they're believers, and it's a good thing, and you see that here. You run into people down here, because I remember we were wife and I were at Lindsay and her family's house 10, 12 years ago, and I said, well, how about this? And you said, oh, so-and-so lives right there, so-and-so. I think, they all live right here? Who were they?
Oh gosh, there's myriad of people, but probably the most infamous lately, sadly, was Kobe Bryant. You know, he would not ever have a security team around him. And he and his wife would often be just at the grocery store getting their groceries, and it's just a regular thing. We'd run into him all the time, you know, at the juice stop or or Starbucks.
Oh,
but
wow.
it's funny because usually when you see someone, you think, oh gosh, they look like, and 9 times out of 10, it is the person.
It is them.
Yeah, it's a professional athlete, or somebody from we watch on TV every day.
And it's not, they're not so hoity-toity around here.
Oh.
Well, here's my security detail, and you stay 20 feet away, and
Yeah.
if you want a photo and autograph, you got to stand in line. And they're just, hey.
They're
how you
regular
doing?
people.
Now, if you're in a grocery store and Kobe Bryant, you couldn't reach the higher shelf, could you ask Kobe to get it for you?
He would have.
Oh.
Yes.
He would have. Just
Yes.
kind of curious.
Yeah.
Kind of curious there.
It was a great loss for us amongst all the
Yeah.
other families and children that were in that horrific. It was just, I can't even describe how the impact it has made in our community of that great loss. But we were blessed to have him and continue to reap great benefits because of his love and investment in the people around him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, that's really something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
It's great that you were able to witness that
yeah.
like close nearby.
Yeah, there's many stories of great joy that will bring me to tears if I start telling you. But he was an amazing man. Yeah,
A great man of faith.
great man of faith, great
Yeah.
man. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The morning of the helicopter crash, he stopped into church with his daughter and took communion,
Mhm.
and then they went to the airport. But we're today we have to take a rent-a-car back, and the guy who checked us out last night, he is great friends and part-time caretaker of John Wayne's widow. She's still alive. I thought, wow. So you're kind of here in the middle of it all. It's here in Orange County. But anyhow, that was just a break. We just took a break and a break with Drake. So, honey, why don't you just stick your head in here and
I
say
think
hello
it's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but I'll try.
Yeah, give it a try. So we'll all wave goodbye
I'm just
here.
so grateful for you guys being here and coming, and you're welcome to come back anytime.
Yes,
We love that.
we live 1,100. Good grief, we live 1,200 miles north of here right now. So I wouldn't mind living in Orange County, dear. I was near
I
here.
wouldn't mind that either.
It would be
But-
fun.
I was
Serena?
near here
Yeah,
as a child.
it would be fun, yeah.
Yeah. So anyhow, well, the Lord bless you and keep you this day, and may His face shine upon you. May the Lord lift up His countenance upon you and give you peace. The Lord is with you, and also with you and all the rest of you. So be blessed this day. Amen.
Amen.